Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel. So, a Les Paul has got to be one of the most iconic guitar designs of all time. And there are some sort of basic requirements or fundamental ingredients, right, that you need for a Les Paul style guitar. So I think the first thing has got to be the body shape, right? It's got to be a single cutaway. That lower cutaway has to be there. I think also the material, it should be mahogany. A mahogany body, a mahogany neck, and a set neck joint. Up on the headstock, it's got to be 3 tuners on each side. You can't have some Fender or Jackson 6-in-line tuner setup. And I think you really need humbucker pickups, right? No single coils. And finally, when it comes to the fretboard, it's got to be some beautiful dark wood color. Ebony, could be rosewood in a pinch. Maybe you want to do something that's manufactured like Richlight. That's fake, but at least it's the right color. You definitely can't have a maple fretboard. So what was Firefly thinking when they created this surprisingly beautiful guitar right here? A maple fretboard with black block inlays. This is not your grandfather's Les Paul. So Firefly is obviously out of their minds, not just because of how they built this guitar, but also these guitars sell for like $210. And I'll have links to all this stuff down in the video description below. But holy smokes, what were they thinking? I gotta say though, even though this is really bucking tradition, this guitar looks amazing. This looks really nice. Now, if we shield our eyes from the fretboard for just a moment and we take a look at some of the other specs of this guitar, it's really pretty nice. I mean, it's this beautiful red flame top, gold hardware. It's got a multiply binding on the body. It's even got a multiply but fewer plies on the back of the body. And then look at this, it's a transparent finish even on the back of the body. So even the back of the guitar looks really nice. And it's mahogany body and neck, and it's got that set neck joint that we were talking about. Also, like most of the modern Firefly guitars, this one has the rounded ball fret ends. So you're not going to run into any sharp frets on this guitar. So guys, does the maple fretboard ruin the look of the guitar? I happen to love how this thing looks. The black inlays, the maple, natural maple color on the fretboard, and then this brilliant red paint job. I mean, this is an incredibly eye-catching guitar. Now, we'll go ahead and demo this, and you guys can listen to how the guitar sounds. But the other thing is right now, Firefly over on their official Guitars Garden website, they've got a whole bunch of single-cut Les Paul style guitars in stock. So there's a lot of other stuff to choose from besides this. And the prices vary a little bit, but they're all super affordable. Like I said, this one is like $210. I think there are a few that are even under $200, and some of them go up a little bit higher, but they're pretty much all under $300, I believe. So after we do the demo, we're going to go over and look at the website and look at all of the other versions of these single-cut Les Paul style guitars that they have right now. Now, I've checked out a guitar like this from Firefly before, but it was several years ago, and it was before they upgraded it to these rounded ball fret ends and made some other changes. So the guitar was already pretty good before. I'm expecting it to sound and play even better now, but we're going to find that out once we get into the demo. So let's get on with that. But of course, guys, real quick, as always, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool, new, affordable guitars, and you also want to stay up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and for some reason you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this in. I'm going to use my Boss IR200 for the demo. Let's listen to how this sounds. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this, and then I want to go over and look at the other versions of this guitar that they have right now. But one thing I want to tell you about is this is, you know, it's not like an ESP or something with a thinner body. This is like a full thickness body, and so this is a fairly hefty guitar. I weighed this one. It came in at 8.9 pounds, so just under 9 pounds. So definitely not a chambered body or anything like that. Also, the neck is you could say a full thickness neck as well. It's kind of a round C shape, and it's definitely not like a thin shred neck. In the past, I reviewed a lot of the AIO guitars, like the WLP, their Les Paul style guitar, and those necks are noticeably thinner, kind of more of a shreddy neck, right? But still with that roundness. This is going to be much more like a traditional Les Paul neck. So if you're looking for like an Ibanez Wizard neck or something super thin, this is not going to be for you. But if you like a big thick neck where you can really smash some chords, do some Zakk Wylde vibrato and really, you know, grab a big chunk of the neck in your hand there, then you will like this. It's just comes down to personal preference. All in all though, this guitar plays and sounds really good. The rounded ball in frets makes such a difference, especially on these more affordable guitars, because in the past you would have to deal with sharp fret ends and all kinds of problems like that, especially as time goes by. But the fact that these are the rounded ball in frets and they're always slightly undersized in terms of the width, that actually compensates for any future changes in the wood and things like that. So in my experience with the guitars with the rounded ball in frets, you just don't really run into fret problems like you used to on less expensive guitars. Okay, now, as cool as this one is, let's go on over and look at the Guitars Garden website and see the other versions of the single cut guitars that they have on there right now. So here we have the Guitars Garden website, which is the official website of Firefly Guitars. And the first thing I want to mention about it is the official website of Firefly Guitars. There are some other websites floating around on the internet which are either websites that are run by people that are trying to get affiliate sales through Amazon, which is okay, right? But then there are some other websites that are just flat out scams. So the guitarsgarden.com website, that is the one I recommend you use if you want to buy a Firefly guitar. Now, the thing I really want to show you here is if we go over to the FFSP section, these are all of the single cut Les Paul style guitars. There are a few other things in here which are kind of a little less Les Paul, if you know what I mean. But let's just look through here, and the first thing I want to point out is these prices here. The most expensive one I see is the Crackle finish, this one right here, which is $269.96, $270. And look at the Crackle finish, but also look at the neck joint here. That's really cool. So for all you guys who want both a Les Paul style guitar but are also fans of the Crackle finishes from the 80s, here's a guitar for you right here. And this has the stainless steel rounded ball in frets that we're talking about, bone nut. It's still a mahogany, you know, body and neck construction, and a more traditional rosewood fretboard on this one right here. $270, and keep in mind there's going to be a shipping charge on top of that. But don't get confused about the tariffs or anything like that, because these ship to you from within the United States. So it's domestic shipping as far as you're concerned. Now let's see what else they have here. They've got some more classic Les Pauls with the 3 gold humbuckers. Very, very nice. Pretty awesome. The binding on the front and the back. It still has the pick guard, which of course you can take off. A few different options. It's nice green. This is like the green open pore finish here. This was $239. So this is going to have a satin finish on here, and it's the open pore finish, so you can kind of feel the grain. You can feel the texture of the wood still through the finish. Some people argue about this stuff, saying that because it's a thinner finish, it lets the wood vibrate more. I don't want to get into that whole debate right here when it comes to electric guitars, whether or not that matters. but some people like these finishes because they feel it affects the tone. A quick back shot right there. Very, very nice carved neck joint. Some of these guitars have the carved neck joint. Some of them have a more traditional neck joint. Like the one I have has the traditional block neck joint, right? Now, they've got some more exotic looking guitars. Like, check out this one. For $249, look at this fretboard inlay. Holy smokes. It's like flames with two different kinds of abalone. Very intricate fretboard work, inlay work. Even just the body, it's kind of a honey white burst or something. I'm not sure what you would call that, but beautiful, beautiful looking guitar. And as an example of what I was talking about earlier, this one has the traditional neck joint, you know, the block neck joint on it, so not the carved neck joint. Wow, even from the back, that looks amazing. Let's see what else they have here. So again, so far the most expensive one was $269. A couple of cool purple finishes here. The one I got is right here with the maple fretboard. This one here, another kind of extravagant fretboard inlay. Oh, it's like a cobra. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty nice. I didn't see that one before. I missed that somehow. Very nice stuff. And the last one I want to look at is going to be these ones in here. This is kind of a Zakk Wylde one. And these ones, I think, are going for the kind of wild audio style. So this is going to be inspired by Zakk Wylde's kind of personal brand, which is, I think technically it's a sub-brand of Schecter, but they've got some variations on other guitars, just kind of took traditional designs like a Les Paul and made it a little more pointy, right? And the other thing is, yeah, if you look at the back of the neck especially, see if I can get a better shot of this here. But the way the paint has been masked off, that's also inspired by the Wylde audio guitars. Not exactly the same, you know, there's differences here. This is a gloss finish. I think the other ones have a satin finish, but still very cool stuff. And still very, very affordable. $259 for this one. The last thing I'll mention about this is even though these kind of look like active pickups, they're not. Those are just covered passive pickups, so you don't have to worry about batteries or anything like that. So by my count, right now they've got 17 different Les Paul style guitars on Guitars Garden right now. They also have, let's see here, they got some Tellys, which includes the Bones guitar there. Let's see here, some Strat stuff, kind of paisley colors, things like that. The VX, which is the more heavy metal shapes. They've got a whole bunch of star body guitars. I've reviewed 2 of those in the past. So cool, finally to have an affordable star body guitar. Also a few Vs and kind of an ML based body. One Explorer there. They've had more Explorer options in the past. But yeah, definitely right now there's a lot of stuff, even some basses. Yeah, so right now there's a lot of stuff over on the website to look through. Honestly, as much as I would like to, I can't buy them all. I can't review them all. I got to pick and choose here and there. But with these prices and when the guitars play and sound as good as they do, you can't go wrong. And it just doesn't surprise me that there are people out there I know that own 20 or even 30 different Firefly guitars. There's just a lot of cool stuff to choose from. Okay guys, so there you go. Let me know which of those guitars was your favorite, and in general, do you think it's absolutely sacrilege to put a maple fretboard on a Les Paul style guitar? I think it kind of is, but I also kind of like it. This guitar plays great, and I just absolutely love the look of this guitar. Okay guys, that is it for this video. I'm going to put links to everything I was talking about down in the video description below. I'll have a link for the website for the Firefly guitars and a specific link for the single cut Les Paul style guitars. And I'll also have a link down there for the Boss IR200 unit I was using in the demo, as well as my social media, my online YouTube course, and all that stuff. Just look in the video description. All right, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.